October. From that war, the Falklands War, Simon Weston joins me in a moment.
On your radio, on the LBC app, and
Play LBC.
Leading Britain's conversation. This is LBC.
From Global's newsroom at 1 o'clock, there's disagreement over the bill aiming to legalise assisted dying as it runs out of time in Parliament to become law in England and Wales. The bill's sponsor in the House of Lords, Lord Falconer, has blamed a small minority of peers for delaying it with hundreds of amendments.
We are not a democratically elected House, but we are rightly held to account for what we do here, or in this case, what we have not done.
Some of the amendments were made by the Paralympian, Baroness Gray Thompson, who's been speaking in the last few minutes.
My lords, this bill has failed because there are too many gaps in it. And the Delegated Powers Committee, Royal Colleges, organisations of and for disabled people, charities, have all raised multiple concerns about this bill, not the principle.
Downing Street says the government's position on the Falklands could not be clearer, saying sovereignty rests with the UK. It follows reports the US is considering reviewing its support for Britain's claim to the islands off the coast of Argentina. Conservative leader Kemi Badenoch has dismissed the suggestion.
I think this is absolute nonsense. This is one of the things that worries me about the changing world. I'm not like Keir Starmer, giving away the Chagos Islands and surrendering British territory. We need to make sure that we back the Falklands. They are British territory. I don't know what Donald Trump is talking about.
Argentina says the islands have been illegally occupied for nearly 200 years. A man's been charged with murdering a head teacher as he rode his bike in Greater Manchester. 34-year-old Simon Richardson's also accused of dangerous driving in Altrincham on Monday. A second round of talks between Iran and the US is expected in Pakistan. A Pakistani government source claims the Iranian foreign minister is expected to arrive in Islamabad tonight with a small team. The source claims a US negotiation team is already in the country. Analysis of cancelled operations in England suggests 1 in 10 are called off at the last minute because patients haven't been prepared for surgery. Experts say improving wraparound care must be a priority.
In a quarter of a mile, keep right to continue on Humber Bridge, A15.
And the owner of Instagram and WhatsApp is making 8,000 job cuts. Meta says it's laying off about 10% of its workforce so it can increase spending on AI. In the city a short time ago, the FTSE 100 was trading down 26 points at 10,430. The pound buys $1.35 and €1.50.
Keep right to continue on Humber
LBC
Bridge.
Weather, a warm, fine and settled day for most. Cloudy in the Northern Isles, highs of 11 to 21 degrees. From Global's newsroom
In a
for
quarter
LBC,
of a mile, at
I'm Matt
Wingfield
Hughes.
Farm roundabout, take the first
Some
exit onto
companies try
Boothferry
to reel
Road,
people in
A15.
by promising quick cash if you pay them to claim work expenses. But think twice before taking the bait, because they might just want to land a commission, and it turns out you aren't eligible to claim anything. You'll have to pay HMRC back, and it's unlikely the company will refund any fees, so don't get caught out. Check if you're eligible and make a claim with HMRC for free online. Just search "Don't Get Caught Out."
This is LBC from Global, leading Britain's conversation with Sheila Fogarty.
In a quarter of a mile, at the roundabout,
Hello
take
there.
the third
Good
exit onto
afternoon to you.
A15.
I am surprised in a way to find myself wanting to talk to you about the Falkland Islands today. I didn't see that coming. Downing Street has said the sovereignty of the Falkland Islands rests with the UK. That's their term, rests with the UK. This follows a report that the US might review its position on the British claim to the territory. It's an internal Pentagon email suggested that the US was considering options to punish various NATO allies that it believes failed to support its war on Iran. It has, for example, talked about removing Spain from NATO altogether, only to be told there is no such function to do that. But to the Falklands, I was a teenager, 15, 16 when the Falklands happened, and I went to Buenos Aires
Exit the roundabout onto
the 30th
A15.
anniversary of the war, and spoke to both people who'd fought in it,
Continue for 200
Argentina
yards.
and for Britain. Such fascinating conversations with the men and women involved. You'll hear
Exit
in a
the
moment
roundabout
from
onto
Simon
A15.
Weston, a name familiar to many people.
In a
who
quarter of a
remember that
mile,
war
at Wingfield
and
Farm
the
roundabout,
sacrifices
take
that
the
people
fourth
made
exit
in
and
it.
stay on
Sons of
Boothferry
former
Road,
Welsh guardsmen,
A15.
who fought in the war and was very severely burned as he was taking part in it, but thankfully survived. Let's just take ourselves back a bit, shall we? On the 25th of April in 1982, so tomorrow's date, Defence Secretary John Nott announced that British forces had retaken South Georgia. Margaret Thatcher made her famous Rejoice proclamation.
The commander of the operation has sent the following message. Be pleased to inform Her Majesty that the White Ensign flies alongside
In
the
300
Union Jack
yards, make a
in
U-turn
South
at
Georgia.
Willesby Way.
God save the Queen.
What happens next, Mr. Nott?
Thank you very much.
What's your reaction?
Rejoice at that news and congratulate our forces and the Marines.
Are we going
Good
to
night,
declare war on
gentlemen.
Mr.
Make
Thatcher?
a U-turn at Willesby Way.
Rejoice.
Well, just to let you know before we continue that Pete Hegseth, the US Defense Secretary, is giving a speech at the Pentagon, a press conference at the Pentagon.
In 100 yards, turn right onto Heads Lane.
And dip in and out a
Turn
little
right
later,
onto
but
Heads
I want
Lane.
to speak first to Donald Lamont, former British ambassador to Venezuela, former governor of the Falkland Islands, and